into the center ice area. Mikhailov played it to Harlamov, back to Mikhailov. And he rolls it into his own zone. Big Gusev. Playing it out, he almost put it right on the stick of Shepard. However, Harlamov is down with Mikhailov, and it's broken up. Here's Brad Park, back for Boston. Park over the line. Park still with it. Park clearing it into the corner. Now Sims playing it behind the net. Cashman missed it. On the left side, Gusev over to Mikhailov. He's back into the center ice area. And we have a half-minute remaining in the penalties. To Hodge and Sagankov. Harlamov, neat pass to Vasiliev. Coming down, clearing it in. It hits Sims. Shepard hands it off to Brad Park. 13 minutes and 42 seconds left in the third period. The Soviets leading by 2. Here's Cashman back in over the Soviet line. Back to Shepard, a high shot off Gretzky's right arm. Now Mikhailov behind the net. Cashman watching him. Vasiliev, a neat pass to Sagankov. Harlamov in over the line. Mikhailov going in, and he shot it along the ice just wide. Here's Hodge back into the center ice area. Fired it, and blocking was Gretzky. Hodge playing a great game for Boston. Here's the bird. He's upended, and the crowd holler for a penalty on that. Hodge playing a very aggressive game. Sagankov is bodied by Hodge. Here's Savard. Neatly, he goes to the right side. Savard over the line. The shot. Petziak with it. Now on the board. Here's O'Reilly centering it. And Gusev starts out the pass to Popov. Popov over the line. Blocked. He gets the rebound. A weak shot wide on the backhand. Now the Bruins. Savard into the center ice area. O'Reilly has it, then had to go back for it. And he hands it off to Doak. Doak ahead to Nowak. He was checked by Kuzkin. Cleared it in again. And Kuzkin returned it back into the center ice area. Nowak. Ahead to O'Reilly. O'Reilly swings over to the left side. Played it in. And Kuzkin knocked it out. 4-2, the Soviets in the lead here in the third period. They struggle at close quarters. Volchenkov at the line. Volchkov turning back. Now Volchkov is upended by Savard. A solid shot just inside the Soviet line. Now a clearing pass. Hits Savard. Dallas Smith ahead to Nowak. Into Savard. Here's Savard. Shooting it to the short side. Kuzkin took it in on the board. O'Reilly has it along the boards against Solodukin. Nowak goes in there too, and the play is stopped.
And again, we check the shots on goal. To this point, Boston 35, Red Army 14. Red Army's had only one shot in this period, the Bruins 7.
And Bobby.
There's Bobby. They need him out there.
I wish he was playing, I'll tell you.
Well, Phil, this is the game that certainly not indicative of the ability of the team.
No, you can't, because the Russians, every time they get a shot, they make it count.
Now Luchenko. Vikulov. Now it's Luchenko again, circling back. Hands it off to Strukov. He gives it to Vikulov. Ran into Markov. Now Sims chasing it. There's Alexandrov. He scores! All out clear by the Bruins, and you can't give that little fellow number 11, Alexandrov, an opportunity like that.
Yeah, let's give credit where it's due. This Alexandrov has just been sensational, Phil.
Right there, it's really it's a mistake by Al. Al makes a mistake there, and they score a goal. Watch, he has the puck. Now he's uncertain what to do, and you know what? I mean, he made a mistake, but here's a kid that hasn't been playing regular. He's out on the ice against the Russians. He's nervous, and he makes a mistake, and they score a goal.
And now it is 5-2. The Soviets leading by 3. Mott at his own line. Comes down on the right wing. Hits the Soviet line. He was upended. Now Mott going down again. Let's see. Player in injured.
I can't.
Who is
Number 6. That's
Gankov.
Gankov, who scored the goal earlier in the period, then took a penalty with Hodge. This is Super Series 76 from the Garden in Boston.
You know, that's what you call under frustration. Schmutzy went in and gave him a real good, hard, high stick, cross-check, whatever you want it. And that's just because they're frustrated. Watch this.
There's Schmutz.
First he gets knocked down there. Yep. Now he's really angry. He just goes right in, high sticks him. No doubt about a penalty. None.
So Schmutz in the penalty box. Harlamov. He scored the first 2 goals for the Soviets in this one. Headman's the puck to Maltsev. Harlamov picking it up. He bounces into the center ice area. Over the line, offside, is number 8, Maltsev.
Oh, that's a pretty line to watch, though, the way they break out of their own zone, and that's just remarkable, that puck control.
You know, when Petrov wasn't playing, I thought they'd be, I thought that this line wouldn't be as effective, but I remember that these 3 guys played together in '72.
And that Petrov is my kind of hockey player.
I like him, too. I really do.
He's a beautiful hockey player. So 10-10 left in the third period. 5-2 for the Soviets. Brad Park in Soviet territory. Mikhailov. Gusev ahead to Harlamov. Harlamov doing some fancy cavorting in there over the line. Centering away to boom! And Maltsev was robbed there by Gilbert. Wasn't that a thing of beauty, the way they passed that around? Now into the center ice area. Here's Forbes back in over the line. Cutting in. Forbes is stopped by Vasilyev. Shepard was upended by Harlamov. Here's Brad Park. Park shoots it off toward the corner. Vasilyev laying it ahead to Mikhailov. And we have 43 seconds left in the penalty. Mikhailov with Maltsev. Mikhailov is upended by Edestrand, and he went flying to the air. He does this with a great deal of flourish. Now the Soviets, a fake pass by Gusev. Now he gets it to Vikulov into the center ice area to the right side. Gluktov has it. Gluktov giving it to Luchenko. A shot and a leg save by Gilbert. Luchenko another shot, and he hit Edestrand in front. Edestrand clearing it out to Gankov, to Alexandrov, over to Vikulov. Back it goes to Shutkov into the corner. Now Schmutz is back on the ice. The Gankov losing it to Savard, and Shutkov was there to take over for the Soviets. So the Soviets, with 8:23 left in the third period, have that 3-goal cushion, 5-2. And they are pretty much in command right here. Shutkov at the line. Now here's Savard in the center ice area. Good move by Savard to get by Popov. Then he's taken out of the play by Luchenko, who fell. The Gankov coming out with Solidukin, who sweeps away from Savard. Got away from Marcotte. Solidukin shooting it in. Arms it off the board. Volskov is out there now. Solidukin along the board, struggling with Gibson. And it is Edestrand. He plays it to the right side. Here's Schmutz. Marcotte is on the left wing. Edestrand takes the pass, and it's called on the offside.
7:33 left. Remaining in the third period, the score is the Soviet Red Army 5, the Boston Bruins 2.
It is Hodge on the right side. Gibson at center. Cashman on the other wing. Solidukin out with Volkov and Popov. Now Hodge. Hodge working off the boards. The angle almost impossible. Now Gibson at the point, keeping it in. Here's Gibson working it in there. Cashman a shot to the short side. Kuzkin plays it out over the line, and Brad Park takes over. Park back in his own zone into the center ice area, cleared it to the corner. Volchenkov in there to take over for the Soviets. Popov couldn't get it. They jam in on the board. Now Hodge after it into the corner. Cashman is going after Volchenkov. Here's Hodge again. Hodge goes to the other side. He centered it, and it goes off Tretiak's stick. Popoff works to the line, lost it. He gets it again. Saladukin down in over the line. He took a stick across the right arm. Now Popoff playing it back to Gusev. Mikhailov on the ice. Here comes Harlamov and Maltsev. And that is the line, the ever-dangerous line for the Soviets. Now Gusev playing it to Harlamov. Doak took a slash at it. Now in over the line. Forbes tried to set up a Hodge. Vasiliev is roughed up on the board by Hodge. It's passed back, and the Soviets break out. Harlamov over to Maltsev. Mikhailov is getting in front. It goes to the far wing, and O'Reilly ahead to Forbes. Forbes over the line. There's the shot. Forbes scored on a fairly long shot for the first goal of the game early in the second period. Now Harlamov against Rattel. It's loose. Maltsev to Gusev, and the Russians just passing it back and forth. And it's flicked into the air by Vasiliev. 5:13 left in the hockey game. Soviets 5 and the Bruins 2. And of late, there has not been an indication that the Soviets are going to crack. Here's Alexandrov passing it toward the corner. In there goes O'Reilly. Alexandrov stops it. He centered it high into the air, and Gilbert gets it.
4:51 on the clock. As you say, they're not going to crack. Game 6 of Super Series 76 is coming to you live from Boston. A reminder again that the final game in this series is Sunday, January 11th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Phil Esposito. He's got a plane to catch, and he's done a great job for us here tonight, Danny.
If the Soviets win this one, they will have won the series, am I right? That will be the fourth victory, and in that a tie has crept into the scheme of things with 2 games remaining. There's a good pass to Shepard, but it's knocked off his stick by Lutchenko. Dallas Smith ahead to Busick. Busick over the line, and Sagankov got in front of it. Brad Park to Cashman, and this is Soviet wherever the Bruins move. Here's Vikulov coming in on the right side. Dallas Smith in there to cover up and take over for the Bruins. Dallas Smith having difficulty. Now Shluktov works his way into the corner. Alexandrov is belted by Shepard. Bruins starting out on the right side. Cashman shooting it in. Sagankov playing it ahead out over the line. Dallas Smith ahead to Busick. Alexandrov shoots it in over the line. And we have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the hockey game. And as far as this capacity Boston crowd is concerned, I think for this game, most of their entertainment came in the first period. It was a bristling first period. Bristling action all the way. Now, Volkov down in on the right side against Edestrand. Edestrand ahead to Busick. Busick comes to center. He's checked by Saladukin. Busick still with it. Gives it to Savard. A shot. Here's Savard again. And he flicked a harmless shot actually to the side that Tretiak got.
From the Garden in Boston, Super Series 76.
And the big clock over center ice. That's the Garden. Shows the time remaining 3:10. The period is the third. 5-2 for the Soviets. Doak takes the shot right on. Rebound. Tretiak seemed to be partially screened on that. Now Doak again fired it. And a stick above the shoulder makes contact apparently. And the Bruins did not like that call, Brian.
I don't think you can complain too much about the officiating here tonight, Danny. Sure, we were all concerned about Dombrowski and his lack of experience, perhaps, and the fact that he might stepped down very hard, but I think all in all, he's done a creditable job here tonight.
Let's say this, the Soviets are not winning the game in a deficiency of officiating.
Here's a shot at a sharp angle. Now it's Doak keeping it in. Doak going after it again. Maltsev out over the line. Feeds it ahead to Harlamov. Harlamov a shot, and it was blocked by Edestrand. He cleared it up on the left side. Rattel over the line, gives it to Marcotte, to Schmott. Here's Schmott, making a good move, has to chase it to the corner. Schmott ran into the official. Rattel looking for it. Mikhailov coming out. Over on the right side to Maltsev. Back to Mikhailov. Into Harlamov. He jammed it on the backhand, and it went off Edestrand in front of the net. Now puck back into the center ice area. Marcotte coming down to the line. He's over the line on the backhand. Centering it. Tretiak knocked it away. It's kept in by Marcotte. Here's Rattel over to Schmott, and his shot was a rising shot 3 or 4 feet over the top of the net. Soviets shoot it down the ice, and it's icing against the Army team. 1:43 left.
Danny, the Soviets said they came here to learn from our best professionals, and from what I've seen tonight, they don't have many more lessons on the slate because I think they could hand out a few the way they've been playing hockey here tonight.
Indeed. The student could become the professor.
Right.
Now into the center ice area. Mikhailov. Glukov has it. He circles, takes the shot, and he's Gilbert. Got in front of it, and now the shot's on goal. 39 for Boston, 18 for the Soviets.
Some of those Bruin shots, a little off target. The others that were on Tretiak, he did a tremendous job at stopping.
And most of the Soviet shots have been really tough shots. Now Nowak is stopped. He goes back into the center ice area, cleared it in. And many of this capacity crowd of 15,003 beginning to head toward the exit with 1 minute and 14 seconds left in the third period. Now, on Saturday, it will be another international game. The Islanders against the
Soviet Wings.
And the Wings made a great comeback after that hammering in Buffalo to win last night in Chicago. Dallas Smith in behind the net. Gibson is turning on the left wing. He takes the pass. Gibson out over the line. Ahead to Nowak. Now Gibson carries on. His shot, he shot that with the puck on in, and it went over the glass. 58 seconds left in the hockey game.
Well, Danny, this Boston Bruin club came into this game tonight totally prepared. If they were not in condition, if they had a wealth of injuries, if they were not really up for the game, but that was not the case. This Bruin team played as fine a game of hockey, I think, tonight as they are probably capable of playing through this season. But the Soviet Red Army Club was just a little too much for them in almost every department.
The Bruins period, of course, despite the fact they didn't get a goal, I think was in that first period. They ran into Tretiak. He was very, very hot. Now here's Park coming in. Pass intercepted by Vasiliev. Ahead to center. Dallas Smith to Hodge. Hodge over the line. Gusev is after him. Hodge around the net. Now Nowak in the corner, centered it. Gibson waited too long. Right in front, is shot by Gibson. But it didn't have much on it. And Tretiak was there. 26 seconds left. Right down the ice it goes. Gilbert to Dallas Smith. And the Bruins will have to hustle to get another offensive effort into operation, see if they can get another goal. That's about all that matters right now. Gibson in over the line. The Soviets break it up. Dallas Smith clearing it in. 5 seconds. Vasiliev, an outstanding performer tonight. Ahead to Mikhailov. And the game is over. Soviets 5 and the Boston Bruins 2.
There's the hero for Central Red Army, among many heroes tonight. The biggest, perhaps, the brilliant goaltender. Shots on goal, Boston 40, Red Army 19. They congratulate each other. And the only consolation, I suppose, is there's only one Tretiak playing hockey in the Soviet Union. The other goaltenders might not be quite up to his excellence.
I wouldn't be so certain there's only one Tretiak.
Well,
keep your eyes open.
We didn't see them in Buffalo last Sunday, let's put it that
No,
way.
the goaltending was bad in that game, no question about it.
But you could go down the list here. Alexandrov, Harlamov, we're so familiar with him. Mikhailov, Vasiliev on defense. I thought he was just remarkably steady back there all evening and showed tremendous poise. And there are the handshakes, and now the teams leave for their respective dressing rooms, and Gilles Gilbert gets a prolonged burst of applause from these Boston Bruin fans as he leaves along with Ken Hodge, who was also very strong for the Boston Bruins tonight. So the score was 5-2, Soviet Red Army over the Boston Bruins. In just a moment, our three-star selection.
Number 3-star, Boris Alexandrov. A number 2-star, Valery Harlamov. And the number 1-star, Vladislav Tretiak.
There they are, the Islanders in Philadelphia ahead. We'll return with more on Super Series 76 in just a moment.
Howie, those first two stars, the names of Tretiak and Harlamov are becoming household words in every hockey fan's vocabulary, but the third star is a fella I saw last year at the World Junior Tournament in Winnipeg, Boris Alexandrov, and he could be better than them all.
Oh, I think so. He just made a fantastic move on the goal that he scored. But I think what's most interesting, I think Vasiliev and this kid Alexandrov are two hockey players that could be Canadians. They're just great with the stick. They show emotion. The youngster come on the ice and here's a Russian enjoyed the game. He said, hey, I'm the third star. And for a 20-year-old, he just has unlimited potential.
Great goal he scored on Gilles Gilbert. He was set up, of course, in perfect position, but then the move.
Oh, watch the move. And a little earlier, he went in on Gilbert and turned him inside out, took him right out of the net and put it in front. But watch the youngster come from behind. This is what I like about him. Look, he's in position, in open ice. Now watch go from his forehand to his backhand. He eluded the poke check and just put it in like Gordie Howe and a lot of people used to.
Several interpretations of this series, but so far Montreal has come away with a tie, and a lot of people think they should have won. Buffalo has won very easily. Still to go, the Islanders in Philadelphia, and to take those four teams, that's the four semifinalists from last year's Stanley Cup. I think if the NHL thought anything but those four teams, and maybe anything but the two best, were going to win, they were mistaken. We need our best. I think that's the message that we get, and at times our best isn't good enough. But to be sure of being on an even keel, we've got to have our best teams, and the Boston Bruins didn't play like the National Hockey League's best tonight.
No, for two periods it was a heck of an interesting hockey game. You know, we're pretty good wood choppers. We really are, and we play with, I think, terrific emotion and great dedication, but we can't control our tempers, our emotions, and this is what we have to do when the crunch comes. Unless we learn to be dedicated and control our emotions like the Russians, well, again, that's just a little advantage that they need to be.
That lesson is right there for us because they do such a great job of it no matter what's going on from the referee's point of view. Well, on Sunday, the series finale in our last telecast for you, Central Army meets the Philadelphia Flyers at